Hello everyone, hope you're having a beautiful day, beautiful night, beautiful morning, wherever you are in the world. Sam here, and I wanted to first wish you a Happy New Year. I haven't connected since, sent a newsletter since the end of last year. And yeah, so Happy New Year. We're well in our way into 2020, halfway, more than halfway through February. And I just wanted to share with you some things that I have been reflecting on, basically since the end of the year into the new year. And that is about how we put so much pressure on the end of the year, that new year period. We put lots of pressure on setting goals and intentions and for this beautiful entry into the new year, which I think is amazing. I think it's really important for us to reflect on the year past and then how we're moving forward into the year ahead. But what I was thinking about is that because we put so much pressure on that time, and a lot of times, I know I've done this myself, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna set my goals, I'm gonna get, on top of things, and then maybe, 2 months in, I've kind of already forgot about my goals, or I'm back into some old habits and patterns, which is very normal for us. We're very habitual humans. Humans are habitual. We have patterns, and it takes a lot of effort to be able to get out of our patterns and out of our habits. And this is why I think instead of just thinking about the year, we actually have so many different rhythms and cycles within our year. So the first one is basically the day. Like, we have a 24-hour cycle each day, and each day is a chance for us to wake up anew, afresh, and then, set intentions for the morning, reflect in the evening. And it's just another beautiful opportunity for us to pause and to take time out and to reflect and see where we're going and what direction. And again, a lot of times we set goals, we set intentions, and that might be good for the moment, but then maybe we get down into the year, a couple months into the year or even further, and we find that it's actually not in alignment, or it's not working out, and we need to shift gears or move into a different trajectory, into a different direction. And so this is why taking regular stock, reflecting regularly, can be super helpful. So again, I like to take stock daily. So I try to at least take a few moments in the morning, setting intentions, and then also in the evening. I like to do a little bit of a meditation. I don't always do it, but it is my intention to do it every night. And I have put together a meditation for you to do in the evening to kind of help you with this. And that's going to be in the video below. So you may also like to journal in the evening and journal with this meditation, but I'll talk about that later. So we have our day, and then we also have our week. So you have a 7-day week, and I really like to set up on a Sunday. A Sunday is where I think is a really nice day where we reflect on the week before and then look forward to the week ahead, and setting intentions, looking at what we want to do and accomplish, and again, taking some time out to do that. And another cycle that I really like to look at is the moon cycle. So this resonates with me. So for some of you, it might not resonate, but for me, I really love to look at the moon and the cycle. My menstrual cycle is very linked to it, so it's very easy to tap into for me. So we have the new moon, and the new moon's coming up this Sunday. And I like to say, because the new moon is the beginning, it's the beginning of the rise of the moon, the waxing, I think, yes, waxing. And it's a beautiful time to set intention. So what I like to do is maybe do some journaling or a meditation, and I kind of look at the month ahead and what I want to do and set some intentions, and then you have that time, and then you have 2 weeks later when you have the full moon. So the moon is at its peak, and this is again a time where you can use that as like a meditation, or a time where you reflect to see how that's going. How are your intentions? How are your goals happening? What's happened? And just noting, like, what have I done in the past 2 weeks? And I'll get onto in that in a moment. But again, so you have lots of these different cycles and rhythms, and you might even connect with a different cycle, a different rhythm, and you have a different tradition that you like to follow. But I think it's really beautiful that we take this time out regularly, not just on big occasions like the New Year or your birthday or something. To have time regularly where we reflect on where our direction is going, what we've accomplished, what's not working so well, and to do that on the regularly. So this is very much like intentional living, mindful living. And I think when we take this regular stock, it also just gives us a chance to, get what I had mentioned earlier, see what we've actually done, see what we've accomplished. And when I say what we've accomplished, I don't just mean our physical accomplishments, like let's maybe say a fitness goal or a work goal, but I also mean what we've been learning and growing. Like we recognized a pattern, like I recognized a pattern of mine last week. And it's been pretty big for me. Like a lot of times we have these patterns like running the show behind the scenes and we don't actually know, and it has quite a big effect on our daily life. So when we recognize these things, we have a learning, a growing, we patch things up with a friend, or that's also something really much and as an accomplishment. And I think it's so important that we take time to celebrate that. So I think I mentioned that in my last newsletter, where to take time out to celebrate ourselves, because this is also going to bring a lightness to our life, to our day, when we can see that we are making progress, we are growing, we are doing things. Because a lot of times we can just see that we're just going on to the next and to the next, on to the next. And a lot of times, I know I do it myself, even though I talk about it all the time, I put a lot of pressure on myself to keep doing, to keep accomplishing, and that can lead to fatigue and burnout and stress. So I have to keep that in check regularly. And then remembering to take time to celebrate what I have done, because again, that really can help lift our spirits and get those endorphins going, which again helps with our stress levels, helps us to and then be able to relax more, and rest is very important. And then also we may find that things are not working, like we made a mistake, or we had an interaction with somebody that could have been a little bit better. And you know what? That's fine. This is life. This is the human experience. We are meant to make mistakes. We're not perfect. And so when we can reflect regularly and then realize, oh, okay, that didn't go so well, what can I do better? Or maybe, this intention or goal I set is not really working for me. Maybe what can I do to change that, or the direction, or come up with a different solution? And again, this kind of just takes that pressure off, where we're not taking things so seriously. We know that it's okay to make mistakes, and that there's mistakes, but then there's also really beautiful things happening. So we're not just focusing on the mistakes, we're also highlighting all the great things that we're doing and the accomplishments that we make. So I feel like having that balance and then tapping into that on a regular basis can really help with our mental well-being, our overall well-being, and again, even within our health, when we are celebrating ourselves, taking time out, meditating more, living this more mindful life, it will have more energy. And taking time to practice gratitude and seeing everything that we do have really has a massive impact on our overall well-being. So I kind of talked on a lot of trajectory here. So the main things I wanted to address today was about how we put a lot of pressure on the new year, but how we can actually tap into this on a regular basis. So the daily base, in the morning and in the evening, on a weekly base, picking a day. I usually pick a Sunday, maybe tapping into a different cycle rhythm. Like I told you, the moon is a big one for me. And then remembering that we make mistakes, and that's okay, and looking for solutions. And then also remembering to celebrate our wins and celebrate our accomplishments, whether that is learning, a growth, or something more tangible and physical in our daily life. So again, I've got a meditation down below. This is something that you can do at night. It's a really nice reflection tool that I like to, I kind of just think about this in the evening. You can use it before you go to bed, either lying in bed or maybe just before you go to bed, and even using a journal can really be helpful. Also helps with sleep, I find, when I do this regularly. So I hope you found that helpful, and I hope you're having a wonderful start to 2020, and I look forward to share with you next month. So if there's any topics or anything that you'd like me to cover, please let me know. Wishing you all the best. Take care. Bye.